What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the North Shore 9 postgame show powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm Jim. With me is Neil. Neil, we are going to talk about a 4-3 Pirates victory tonight. Before we do, though, I gotta mention really scary situation in the seventh inning of tonight's game. A fan fell off the Roberto Clemente Wall. Didn't look good. No real updates yet, but thoughts and prayers to him and his family. This was just a tough game after that. I was kind of surprised they continued on with it. But best wishes, prayers to everybody involved there. Scary situation.
Yeah, I hope everyone's okay. I was very confused what was happening then, and then videos started coming out, and so just hoping for the best, praying for him and his family.
Yeah. So let's we got a baseball game to talk about. All right. Well, Pirates win. Pirates win 4-3. It was a big game. They had to win this one. Home series against the first place Cubs. You didn't want to go another game back in the standings against them. Carmen Mlodzinski kind of grinded his way through 4+. Also still kind of raised the same questions and concerns that we've had this entire time. But I thought the offense did a good job. They did enough to win this game. They came up in big moments. They scratched and clawed, found a way to take the lead late in the game. And I thought the bullpen did an outstanding job holding things down late in the game as well. So we'll get to all of that. And guys, like I said, Pirates win. So we're going to be giving away 4 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches tonight. Hashtag raise it. Make sure you get those in the comments to enter the giveaway. And we'll give those out at the end of the show. But before we get there, let me tell you about Bet Online. It's the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch for NBA and NHL playoffs. Bet Online has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from MLB, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the number one online source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here. All right. Let's start. I guess, just kind of quickly run through this and then we can kind of hit on the topics. But Pirates take a 1-0 lead in the first. Brian Hayes single extends his hitting streak to 10 games. They add on in the fourth with a Jared Triolo sacrifice fly. The fifth inning is kind of when things got off the rails for the Bucks. We'll dissect that. And then Andrew McCutchen with a big 2-run double in the seventh to give the Pirates a lead. But I want to start off with Carmen Mlodzinski, Neil. Been a big topic for all season now. Having issues getting through the order a second or a third time. I thought he looked excellent the first time through the order. Second time through, he got through it, but it was shaky. The second time through the order, I believe the Cubs were 4 for 8 with a walk. So not the best, stat line there. At the end of the day, he goes 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He's pulled in the fifth inning after giving up a hit to Swanson and then a walk to Birdie. He gives way for Barucki. But what did you think about Majinsky this time out? Was it just kind of reinforcing what we thought?
Yeah, and that's the real problem is that it was better. But I think when it comes to Carmen Mlodzinski, you're going to get this every time. I think it's just kind of the nature, and it's kind of up to chance, not chance, but it's, you don't know whether it's going to be snowballing into a lot of runs like we saw in the last couple outings, or just 2 runs earned and eventually 3. He's not shown anything yet that makes me think this guy is a starter. And I think when we saw Borucki, he really came in and struggled. And Lawrence probably done for the season. I don't know. I hope it for the best, but it doesn't sound good with Lawrence. That the Pirates really do need a bullpen guy. And it's with how good he looks the first time through the order, I really think he would be a great just bullpen guy like this. Even if you want to put him out there for multiple innings, like I think that's the best way to use him and like call up Chandler. I think you kill two birds with one stone there, but I think we all agree there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like he looked again, same thing. Like he looked really good for the 3 innings. And again, he grinded his way through that fourth. But at the end of the day, like he has not been able to go past 5 innings as a starter. He hasn't today was seemingly one of his better outings, and he couldn't get an out in the 5th inning. So it's like, how long do we need to do this for? I think it's pretty apparent that he's best suited for either a long relief role or a high upside relief role. Like I think he could be like a lethal weapon in that bullpen, really being deployed in a myriad of different ways. And they're just using him, it seems like in the worst possible way right now. But he's able to at least put like he hands the ball over to Borucki with the Pirates having a chance to win this game.
Yeah. And that's all you can really ask for a guy who's not really a starter. Like I think today was about as good as you could possibly hope for from Carmen Mlodzinski. And I'm tired of like being upset when I see his name because I like Carmen Mlodzinski. I think he has really fun stuff. And I don't want to be like upset when I see his name on the. What I would say though is I'm just a little disappointed is that like you kind of had the framework. Like the Luis Ortiz role was right there from last year, and it worked really well for Luis Ortiz. Eventually, he built up 2 innings and 3 innings, and then they put him in the rotation, and he succeeded. And so I guess my thing is like, if this was your plan to make him a starter, why wasn't he on the plan that made you work? That worked really well for Ortiz last year, Like that way, like you're trading Ortiz away, you get your first baseman, but then you also have a replacement for him.
Yep. And John in the comments here, he's saying Majinsky's getting hate. I don't think anyone is actually hating on Majinsky. I think for the most part, we all really like Majinsky and what he brings to the table. It's just a matter of like this team doesn't seem to be deploying him in the best possible way. So it's an unfortunate situation. It would be great if he could be a starter, but I mean, I think at this point he's kind of proven that he's just he doesn't have the length to be able to do that.
But I feel like if like Bailey Falter was in this rotation, if they didn't have like other more exciting options in AAA, like this would make a bit more sense. But for me, I just want to see him come and dominate for 1 or 2 innings, and that's his night. I think that would really help us bridge the gap back to like Bednar and Ferguson and Santana. I feel like that he could really come in when like say Bailey Falter doesn't have a best start, he's out after 4 innings. So I imagine that's the plan eventually, like probably when Bubba Chandler's ready to come up, but it's still kind of frustrating to watch today.
Yeah. Let's talk about that 5th inning a little bit. Like I said, I think the walk to Birdie is kind of the killer there. That's just a guy that you can't really walk. He's not very dangerous at the plate. So you walk Birdie, you put Borucki in a tough situation coming into the inning with runners on first and second, nobody out. I will say I like the hook at that time. Like I like that they didn't allow Majinsky to face the top of the Cubs order for a 3rd time. So I like the hook there. That 5th inning though, I mean Borucki wild pitch and 2 wild pitches there ended up costing the Pirates 2 runs. And you could say, hey, those are Borucki's fault. He needs to, throw pitches a little bit closer to the strike zone. I think both of those balls could have been stopped though. So it wasn't a great inning for Borucki. It wasn't a great inning for Bart. Bart just didn't do a whole lot to help that inning. I mean, at the end of the day, Borucki only gave up 1 hit. But all 3 runs end up scoring because of the issues there at the plate. He strikes out 2. So all in all, like Borucki looked good outside the 2 wild pitches, but those 2 wild pitches were huge and they cost the Pirates 2 runs.
Yeah, and it is really disappointing because like I think Borucki overall has been pretty good this year, and for me, I was just kind of sitting there while I was watching, like, well, wild pitches, all 3 runs go around the score. I've seen the story before. This is going to be another like 6-2 loss. That I don't know if that was going through your head. That's what was going through my head. But the bullpen really picked it up, and Baraki will be mostly fine. Like, I think he's never going to be that leverage guy you want, but 2 strikeouts, like only 1 hit, like, Joey Bart let him down a little bit, but I have confidence in Baraki.
Yeah, I'm agree. Like, I thought Baraki looked fine there. Like I said, the 1 pitch was off the plate inside, but I think most catchers get that. And then the ball in the dirt, you're trying to make a pitch and he spikes it, and Bart didn't do a great job blocking it. Kind of is what it is. That's the way that catching is going nowadays. Is you're down on one knee, you kind of give up that ability to block pitches for an exchange of a better chance at getting that low strike call. Teams have just kind of gone to that. They've done the math. They've decided that that's the route that we're going to go. And it cost the Pirates a run today. Yeah. So the Cubs take that 3-2 lead in the 5th. But
rough day for Bart. Honestly, like, rough day for Bart. He because this in terms of fundamentals, like, he such a good bat. Like, really, I can't believe he's kept it up. But I mean, not sliding into home. I was about to lose my mind and run around the living room when I saw him get tagged out.
Yeah, let's kind of talk about that. It was a rough day for Bart. Not only those 2 pitches there in the 5th, but in the 4th, he's on third base with 1 out. Bases are loaded. The bases were loaded with 0 outs, but Tommy Pham struck out. We'll get to Tommy Pham here later tonight, too. Tommy Pham strikes out. Jared Triolo lifts a fairly deep fly ball to center field. I mean, this fly ball by Jared Triolo, I just want to make sure I'm right here, 306 feet.
Yeah, that should be enough to score anyone.
That's far enough to score the runner from third. Joey Bart comes in. Pete Crow Armstrong, I'll say this, hell of a throw by PCA. Yeah. He's one of the best defensive outfielders in baseball. But Bart just nonchalantly runs, crosses the plate. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who was in the on-deck circle, is standing there waving his arms, telling him to slide. And Bart just moseys across home plate. He gets tagged. They call him out. The Pirates challenge it, and it's overruled. So no harm, no foul. But that was almost another really, really costly mistake by Bart.
Yeah, like it's the small things like that where when I was going on, like, I was getting kind of ready to like get on your rant a little bit, just because like you can't do that. If 8-year-old me could slide into home on a sacrifice fly, I think the major league players can do so too. But it was just a shame because, Bart had a really good day at the plate. He got on 3 times. He scored 2 walks, a hit. His OPS is up to 821. Like, I don't want to hate on him because he's been one of the few shining lights on offense, but that was brutal.
Yeah, I mean, he was on third base because he doubled earlier that inning. So it's like he's continuing to hit the ball. His weighted runs created plus is 134 right now. He walked twice today, got on base 3 times. Like, he's putting together a solid season again after putting up that solid year last year.
Yeah.
You can't really take his bat out of the lineup. It was a weird day for him. Like, offensively, he did some good things. Defensively, not so good things. Base running, not so good things. But again, it ended up not costing the Pirates the game in the long run. First inning, Brian Hayes delivers the bloop single. He's on a 10-game hitting streak, Neil, and this has to be like the quietest 10-game hitting streak I've ever seen. I looked it up after.
Sorry, when you said he was a 10-game hitting streak at the top of the show, I'm like, he is?
Right. Yeah. I looked it up because after he got the hit, it was like he's on a 10-game hitting streak, and then so I look up his stats, and 10 games at that point, he had 12 hits. 11 of them were singles. So like he's just getting like 1 single a game for 10 straight games. I mean, whatever's going to work is fine. I think over that span coming into today, he had like a 103 weighted runs created plus. And hey, I'll take a 103 weighted runs created plus from Brian Hayes all day. Yeah. So hopefully he keeps that up. But he gets the Pirates on the board today with that hit. He ended up having 2 hits today. Goes 2 for 4. Like I said, with that RBI. I mean, The OPS is up to 621. It's still not where it needs to be. Like, you really want Ke'Bryan Hayes to kind of be flirting like with that 700 OPS area, because with the defense that he provides, if he can give you that, then you're talking about a really good player. And like, that's what we saw from him in 2023. And that's what got us so excited last year, was like, hey, if 2023 Ke'Bryan Hayes is back, he can be a pretty good player. But 2 for 4 today with the RBI, 10-game hitting streak. The underlying statistics are all good. Like, you look at how he's putting the ball in play and his batted ball data, it all looks really good. He's historically been a guy who's been unlucky, quote unquote unlucky. And that's because he just was hammering the ball into the ground. When you hammer the ball into the ground, your expected stats are going to look good and your regular stats are going to look bad, because those are going to become outs. But this year is different. Like, his exit velocities are good. His launch angle is good. Like, everything's looking good for him. It's just the numbers need to catch up to the batted ball data.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand it's how he plays, but I really think he's getting like handicapped because he keeps just pushing everything to the opposite field. It's really limiting his slugging. And, it's just hard. I don't think he necessarily has the power to be hitting opposite field home runs all the time. I just don't think that's his game. And so, like, I think when you see guys like Henry Davis, Valdez, like, they're really trying to sell out for pull power. I don't think Hayes should do that completely, but I would like to see him pull the ball more.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I feel like that's what we saw him do that second half of 2023.
Exactly.
Kind of pull that ball in the air. And he does it on occasion, but yeah, he's still kind of peppering that right side over and over and over again. And again, he's hitting the ball hard. It's just not really translating. But 10-game hitting streak, you'll take it. Hopefully he continues and it continues to kind of get that upward trajectory. All right, so it's 3-2. It's 3-2 Cubs after the 5th. Chase Shugart comes in, does a hell of a job out of the bullpen, 1 2/3 scoreless. Caleb Ferguson cleans things up and finishes up the 7th inning for him. But I want to talk about this bottom of the 7th for the Pirates. That's when really all of the action happened here, and they were able to make a nice comeback. Starts off with, all of this was done with 2 outs too, Neil. Like, Adam Frazier gets out. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa does reach on an error. So like, that error was huge. It opened up the inning for him. And usually the Pirates aren't able to take advantage of other teams' mistakes. They were able to do it tonight. O'Neal Cruz strikes out against the lefty. But then that lefty came in. He now has to face Reynolds and McCutchen. Reynolds singles, his second hit of the game. And then Andrew McCutchen on a weird double. Ground ball up the middle. Dansby Swanson like slides for it, misses it, and then kicks it into right field. And IKF scores from second. Reynolds scores all the way from first. That gives the Pirates a 4-3 lead in the 7th. You'll take it. I mean, the Cubs kind of gave this one away today.
100%. And but before we realized what was happening after the Kutch double and like that tragedy, like, I was just reading out, like, this feels like the first break the Pirates have gotten all year. Maybe you can remind me of another one where like the other teams just kind of handed the game to us, so like we get kind of lucky, but like that really felt like the one in a time when we really needed it. Kutch, I mean,
you're right.
Yeah, Kutch has just been incredible still. Like, obviously, it's probably a single and not a double in most, but still, like, I mean, he smoked that ball. I'm pretty sure. I don't have the exit velocity data on me, but like, he's pretty sure he smoked that ball, and we made our own luck, and that's something we have not been doing. We made our own luck. So, and you guys were hard on Brian Reynolds, which is fair, and he bounced back today. I thought he was one of the best days he's had in a while.
I agree, and we were hard on him, but I think it was harsh but fair. Like,
no, it's very warranted.
Yeah, like, he's someone who needed to. We just wanted to put, like, and that was just me kind of going through some stats today. Like, he was having a rough start to the year. 70 weighted runs created plus, -0.4 WAR. Like, if this team is going to do anything, Brian Reynolds has to be better than that. He just has to be, because there aren't enough weapons in this lineup. You can't only rely on O'Neal Cruz and Andrew McCutchen. Like, Bryan Reynolds has to perform. And it was nice today to see him pick up those 2 hits. He goes 2 for 4. And again, he kept that inning going, which was big.
Yeah.
You there, Neil?
And like, he's the only one in the top 4 of the lineup today that doesn't have an OPS over 750. No. Did I freeze? Oh.
You're back.
Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So yeah, like, he's the only one in the top 4 of the lineup who does not have a LPS over 700 or even 800. So like 100%, especially when he's the highest paid player on the team, you got to be producing more than he actually has been. I really like the at bats he took tonight. Only 1 strikeout. That's huge. The strikeouts have been a huge problem for Reynolds this year. I think it's over 30% strikeout rate. And so no, I'm really just hoping that this is the start of something like the Bryan Reynolds that we know. Maybe June came early.
Yeah, I mean, again, it wasn't. I'm not hating on Bryan Reynolds. He needs to be better, and he was today. So he's shown in the past that he can do this. I'm not concerned really about him, but like he's got to snap out of whatever funk he's in. So it was good to see that.
Yeah.
Shout out Penn with
100%.
the $2 super chat. Thank you, Penn. But yeah, so the Pirates take that lead there in the 7th. And then the bullpen just comes in and does their job. Caleb Ferguson with a clean 8th inning. I believe 1, 2, 3 8th inning for Caleb Ferguson. Yep. And then Dennis Santana, he's out on bereavement. So David Bednar is now your highest leverage righty. He comes in and he gives up the 2-out single to Swanson, but all in all, a pretty stress-free inning for David Bednar. I mean, it was a 4-3 ball game. It was a 1-run game, and he gets the job done. Ground out, line out, single, strikes out John Birdie to end the game.
He looked fantastic. Yeah, and like I was really worried when he came in. I'm not gonna lie. I know he pitched really well in his last outing, his last high lever. But I was thoroughly impressed today. It was like you never were, even when he gave up the single, you never felt like you were in much danger. The Cubs did not give off this impression. Now, I wonder if part of that is like everyone was trying to get the game over with because of what happened. Kind of didn't feel, it almost felt like an exhibition match after like
it was very weird situation after that 7th inning. Like it felt like no one was like, it was, yeah, like you were saying, like it felt like everybody was trying to get the game over with.
Yeah. It was about, I don't care. I'll take it because Bednar was fantastic. He looks like a much different man than what he was before he went down to AAA. I'll say that much. Yeah,
no, he and I mean he was using all of his pitches tonight too. If you just kind of look at his pitch mix there, 5 fastballs, 3 splitters, 3 curveballs, generated 6 swings between the fastball and the splitter. The curveball, all 3 curveballs were called strikes. That's the difference, and that's kind of what we were talking about. Where like that curveball, if you're missing it with it, then people can just sit on that fastball. If you're throwing that curveball for strikes and they're laying it off, then that's just a free strike. So, great job by Bednar tonight. Yeah, hopefully he's back. And really, you look at the season numbers, and it's like they're starting to look. They're still not vintage David Bednar, but his ERA is down to 5.14. His FIP is 3.65, which is pretty good. He's striking out 11.5 batters per 9. The walk rate is down from where it was last year, so like the K rate's up, the walk rate's down. Hopefully he's kind of getting back to where we need him to be.
Yeah, and like that's the encouraging thing about him at the entire time is that like the stuff never went away. Like even when he was struggling, like he still had that fastball, and it was a little concerning. He kept depending on like that curveball. It kind of felt like he wasn't confident in his best pitch. But I think he looks extremely confident now. I think he has been like since he went to AAA. So I gotta give him his flowers. And I'll also say this much: if I think of Ben Cherington some credit for the team this year, he has done a very good job acquiring relievers. Like Sugar, Ferguson. Like these guys have been money since they've come up, and that's not even like all the acquisitions. And so I will say this: the bullpen is way, as weird as it sounds, with because Colin Holderman still exists. The bullpen feels much calmer, which is nice.
I agree with you. The bullpen, I thought going into the year, kind of had a chance to be not great, and
Same.
overall, because of so there is some skewing of the numbers there between Holderman and Nicholas. A couple blowups, but overall, they've done fairly well. Outside those two, let's talk about Tommy Pham before we get into this giveaway. And then if you haven't, guys, yet, Pirates win 4-3. Hashtag raise it. Drop that in the comments for your chance to win some free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. We've got 120 people in the contest so far, so keep doing that. Hashtag raise it. But Tommy Pham, Neil, how much longer can they do this? He goes 0 for 4 today, 2 strikeouts, a big double play. He goes 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. This drops his season numbers. He is now hitting 170 with a 248 on base percentage, and he's slugging 213. He has a 28 weighted runs created plus. Like, this is just he's unplayable at this point, I feel like.
Yeah. Like a lot of comments, a lot of people on Twitter comparing it to Rowdy, and somehow worse than what Rowdy was at this point.
He's worse than Rowdy was at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was kind of out. I was out of the country last week, and so you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think those are the first boos we heard for Pham this year. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but
I feel like there may have been some the last homestand, but he got booed 4 times tonight.
Oh yeah, like it was bad, and so the real problem is that when you look down the depth chart and you who can replace Tommy Pham, the options are also not great. The first one that comes to mind is Jack Suwinski. And you could put Matt Gorski out there every day. I don't think that's a very good idea either. And so I think because Ben is very slow to correct himself, and because there's just not a whole lot of good options, I feel like he's going to be here for a while, but he is really bad. And it's not even like he's hitting the middle of the lineup. He's hitting 7th, and he's still up in these situations and hitting into terrible double plays. It's awful.
Yeah, it's rough. And I don't think there's going to be any sort of imminent moves here. You saw kind of, and then OG put it there in the comments. I flashed it up there. But you saw last year how they handled the Rowdy situation. Rowdy was really, really, really bad for April and May last year.
Yeah.
Awful. Same deal there. He was getting booed nonstop at home. They kept with it. They stuck with him. And then eventually he did get hot during the summer, and the end of season numbers still weren't great, but they were better than how he started. And I have a feeling Tommy Pham isn't this bad. Tommy Pham has been in the majors since 2014. He's never been remotely close to this bad before. So you do have to think that at some point, if you just keep playing him, it's gonna get better.
Yeah, and
it's just right now. It's so bad. It's so bad right now.
They're definitely thinking they saw Rowdy Tellez become somewhat respectable of a hitter last year, and they're 100% banking on that again with Pham. And so I'm not even saying that they should stick with Pham. I would not be upset if he doesn't have a locker in the clubhouse tomorrow. If you say it's done and we're rolling with Billy Cook in left field every day, let's go for it. I'm here for it. But it might be time to hang up the spikes.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just you have to hope that he gets better. I mean, you're not paying him a ton of money, but you're paying him $4 million this year, which for the Pirates is real money. I don't see them making any sort of move.
No,
him at this point. It's frustrating because you watch him every night, and it's the same stuff every night.
Yeah.
It's constant grounding into double plays. It's constant weak contact. It's just bad offensive baseball by Tommy Pham right now. which is pretty rough. He's got a negative 0.5 WAR currently. I'm sure that'll go down after tonight.
I was saying, like that. You know how impressive that is? He leads the league in defensive runs saved, and he's still at like -5 WAR. I don't know how that's possible. Like
that is wild. That is wild. It's not going well for him. And like you said, like the other options aren't great. Like you could say like, yeah, put Gorski out there, put Canario out there, put Cook out there, put York out there. Heck, put Nick Solak out there, Neil. There's a bunch of other alternatives, and I'm sure none of them would be all that worse. Like 28 weighted runs created plus is very, very bad. It's very, very bad. It's going to be difficult to be that bad. Mm-hmm. You just got to hope that like that something clicks here.
Yeah, and his defense in PNC left field is what's going to keep him in a job for a while, because I'm sorry, I know people are saying that you don't want Canario out in left field every day. That would be a disaster. Like, so like it sucks. Like you really just have to hope, but like at the very least he's not hitting the middle of the lineup, I guess, so you can just keep pushing him down. But I mean, it's bad when like the bottom half of the order is Triolo, Frazier, IKF. Like,
yeah, like who are you pushing them down for? It was like, oh, let's move him behind Triolo or Frazier. Like, I mean, is that much of a difference here? So.
Yeah,
and I like IKF in that 9 spot, to be honest. Like, I like him there before Cruz.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and like it just sucks because like at the beginning of the year he wasn't hitting, but he was hitting occasionally with runners on and like knocking in runs, and now he's not even doing that anymore. It's sad to see.
Yep. I will say this just to address it. It's April 30th. Nick Solak doesn't necessarily have an opt-out tomorrow, but he does have an assignment clause, which means if another team out there wants to give Nick Solak a roster spot, he can tell the Pirates that. And the Pirates have, I want to say, like, Ethan's going to correct me here, but it's like 24 to 48 hours to either trade him or put him on the roster. So just a tidbit there. He is killing it in AAA. I don't know if another team's going to offer him a roster spot, but that is just a wrinkle that we might be dealing with here soon.
Enjoy the south side of Chicago, Nick. You're gonna love it.
All right, guys. Let's give away some sandwiches. How do we do that? Everyone, if you haven't put in your hashtag raise it, do so now. There's 135 comments in there. We're going to pick 2 lucky winners to win 2 Primanti Brothers sandwiches. The way this is going to work is if you're the winner, DM us on any social media platform or email us at northshore9@gmail.com. Just email us your email address that is associated with your Primanti Brothers account on your Primanti Brothers app, and then we'll just load those free sandwiches right into your account for you. So make sure you get those in. I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. First winner is Robert Pedeline. Pedeline. Robert.
Congrats, Robert.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for entering. You just won 2 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. Again, DM us, email us, whatever's easiest for you. Second winner. Let's go ahead and pick out winner number 2. If you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the page, do all that good stuff. But yeah, winner number 2 is Edsel. I think Edsel won last week. That's a 2-time win. We've only had 12 wins so far this year. I'm pretty sure that's a second time.
Women in Primanti French fries.
Which is wild. Congrats, Edsel. Same deal there. But no, that's awesome. Appreciate everybody joining in today. Pirates win 4-3. Tomorrow is a day game. Paul Skenes Day. Paul Skenes versus Colin Ray at 12:35. So we'll have the post game show right after that. But yeah, you got anything else to add for us, Neil, before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm excited to watch you guys interview my favorite player as a kid on Thursday.
Jack Wilson. Yeah, if you haven't heard that yet, Jack Wilson will be our guest tomorrow night. So that'll be a fun conversation.
I wore number 2 throughout Little League because of him. Love him to death. So that'll be fun.
Jack Flash. Yeah. All right. So post game show tomorrow. Jack Wilson tomorrow night. like, subscribe, all that stuff. You guys rock. If you're watching or listening after the fact, you guys are also awesome. But shout out to everybody in the chat today. It was bumping. It was bumping.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, guys. This was fun.
Yeah.
We are still undefeated, Jim.
Yeah. The Neil and Jim post-game show. I think we're 3-0 now.
Some 3 or 4-0. Yeah.
Yeah. This combo, it works. It works. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll catch you all later. See ya. We're out.
Have a good night, y'all.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.